So here's where a slab goes next. So after plumbing's been put in, you can see where the plumbing's protruding through, but you can now see where they've dug the trenches, they've set each pad, they've wrapped it in poly. You can see that the post-tension cables have been set. You can see the plastic cat eye things that are keeping the cables up off the pads. That way concrete will get up and under. Concrete will go into each one of these channels around the pads. And then you can start seeing, as you get into these channels, you can see where the cables are running. You can see the additional structural rebar and metal, the angle iron we discussed that was piled up on the other lot. You can also start seeing where the Simpson strong tie material is being temporarily nailed in place with the form material. You can see where the sill material still hasn't been installed yet, but they get set when they're pouring the concrete. You can see all the forms are set, and then you can see how the internal forms have been set. So you can see where the garage will be poured and how it steps down. You can see the porch that is stepped down. You can see where the tub bucket is and where the shower pan is and where it'll be set. You can also see this poly material goes up and down. You can see the red tape that's taping separate pieces together. They're trying to get a good vapor barrier there. Cement, it's a hot process. There's a curing process if it's too hot outside. Matter of fact, they won't pour a slab here in our area unless it's 45 degrees and rising. The cooler it is, the longer it'll take it to cure. But in the dead of summer of 100-degree heat days, they're out here with sprinkler systems watering these slabs and making sure that the curing process takes the time it needs, because if it dries too fast, it might not be as structurally sound or rigid as they want. Some of the other things you'll see are portions of the slab material. Again, the forms have been done, but you see how they get capped up. That's where your brick ledge will be. And then the concrete then steps up again in other sections of the form. Again, you can see the structural metal. You can see the grounding rod is a great thing you can see now, because with the electrical component, you can see where that metal rebar is sticking up out of the edge of the slab material here, and you can see how it curves down and it runs all the way to here. So that grounding rod terminates right here about 4 feet from the edge of the garage, runs all the way, does a 90 and goes up, and it sticks out of the slab about 2 feet. So that is definitely at least a 20-foot piece of rebar, 15 to 20 feet. So that's a pretty long rod. And then the one that'll get added on the outside of the slab to secure is nailed down several feet as well. I can't remember what the requirement was for that rod. So this is the final stage of slab before probably an inspection, before they're going to move forward with a pour of the concrete. So these pink strings are being used to make sure they're staying plumb and level and they're going across. Lasers are generally used as well, but they'll use the string lines until the day of, just to make sure as they're setting these materials.